in? Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the back. She's in the second to last row.
All right. Somebody must have emailed her.
Good evening, everyone. The hour being 7:01 p.m. on Monday, August 25th, 2025. I'd like to call to order the Laconia City Council meeting. Welcome to everyone. I'm going to move the, with council's permission, I'd like to move the agenda around a little bit here as we've got a number of people and maybe move some things up. I will not be staying for the entire meeting. I'm happy to turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Mark Haynes, if that's acceptable with everybody too. I see no opposition. I think you're happy to see me leave.
And if we said,
Enough said. Thank you, Bruce.
and if we said no.
Before we go any further, I'd like you all to rise and as a group, maybe say the Pledge of Allegiance together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're joined this evening by Katie Gargano. I would first like to wish you a very happy birthday. Yes. Second of all, you're our recording secretary and our city clerk. If you please call the roll.
Counselor Cheney.
Here.
Counselor Susie.
Here.
Counselor Hoffman.
Present.
Counselor Haynes.
Here.
Counselor Vogel.
Here.
Counselor Felch.
Here.
Mayor Husner.
I am here as well. We're also joined this evening by our city manager, Kirk Biotti, and our finance director, Glenn Smith, right now. I'm going to jump up to citizens' comments for matters not on the agenda. If anybody this evening would like to speak to matters not on the agenda, I will afford you a very generous 3 minutes, but welcome, Patrick Wood. It's nice to have you.
I'm Patrick Wood. I'm here on behalf of the Human Relations Committee. I know that there's been some recent publicity. I want to make a note that the minutes are all up to date. They've all been filed previously, but they were not in the correct place, and that was my fault because when I sent them to Nancy, I sent them in the wrong way. But now they're all up to date. There's also a question about the Multicultural Festival. That is not a subcommittee of the Human Relations Committee. It's a separate 501c3 that operates the Multicultural Festival. We cooperate with them, we help them, but it is not run by the city per se. We also have a program that we're starting, and I've been working with the county. I've talked to City Manager Biotti about a Know Your Government program, and hopefully we can start that probably after the election in November and have some sort of a program here in Laconia with the new city council and the current city council, and have an opportunity to share with the public, you know, what the city does, what the agencies are, how it operates. Non-political, this is purely just basically a civics program. The county commissioners are on board with this. We're going to try to get something from them. Maybe the end of September, the beginning of October, we'll have a program on the county, and then we'll also work with the schools and have something along that line. As I think all of you know, the Human Relations Committee is a committee that was established by Mayor Engler many years ago. It is not a city-appointed committee. It's appointed by the mayor as a mayor's committee. I think it would be beneficial from the city's point of view to make it a more formal committee, and I will ask the city manager in the future, and we'll see if we can't get something along the lines of a committee that would be appointed by the city council and a permanent committee of the city. The reason I say that is I think the Human Relations Committee is a very important aspect of what we do as citizens and as a community and as a government. It's a recognition of the importance of each and every one of our citizens as they add to our community in all the different ways that they do. So The Human Relations Committee is very important, and I think it ought to be a permanent part of our community. The final thing I want to say is we have had great support from our mayors and from all of you and the community. But I want to especially thank Mayor Hosmer for his efforts, his leadership, his commitment to the people of our community. And he has been a great leader for the Human Relations Committee. He has been on top of things. We've had some issues in the community, and the mayor did not waste any time stepping up to the plate and leading answers and solutions to those. So I want to thank you, Mayor Hosmer, on behalf of the Human Relations Committee, and thank all of you as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for your words. Anyone else like to speak to matters not on the agenda tonight? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council, and Katie, who I remember from Franklin. And I was here, Joe Haas is my name. I live in Gilmerton. I'm interested in buying some land, and my interest is in Class 6 roads. And I was here when David Bounds was here last. That was my former attorney. And I talked on what was eventually to be filed was the Conval case, Kentucky Valley School District, case number 2019-500 that elevated to 2024-0121, which last month, July 1st, was the decision that there shall be no more tax rates from the DRA, Commissioner Lindsay Stepp, who lives in Holderness, other than zero. You know, the statute says that she must send a tax rate to the
So
municipalities.
with all due respect, sir, is there something that's germane to the work of the city council or the city manager you'd like to address?
Well, what Katie told me earlier, I tried to get the details, is that there's no city council warrants, sort of like what the Board of Selectmen do in a town, over to the tax collector to bill and collect. What you do is you hire the assessor, Stephen W. Hamilton, who I've known for years at the DRA, and he knows all the stuff that I've been talking about. And so the bottom line is, would you please have him and/or legal counsel for the city come up with some type of directive that if you should happen to get a tax rate this fall, that you will see our executive counselor, Joe Kenny, because I've talked to him on this issue, and I said what you ought to do is, because the cities and towns are not correcting an error that...
Sir, I don't want to be rude. We're at the 3-minute mark. I haven't heard anything yet that's germane. If you have a specific question, the city manager is right here. I know he is accessible and very happy to work with you on any of these concerns. It might be helpful if you put it into reduce it to writing, either letter form or in an email. That way he can make sure he can follow up on it thoroughly and get you an answer.
Well, I'll do it with Stephen Hamilton, I think, and the
we're going to work through
courtesy copy with the manager.
No, send it just directly to the city manager, as he's the administrative chief in the city, and he can handle all of that. But I greatly appreciate you taking time to speak to us this evening, sir.
And one last thing, too, is on some people that file abatement applications, Peter Laughlin wrote the book on municipal law, and he says you can argue irregularity in the abatement process, and that includes unlawfulness. So anybody that has an abatement, September 1st is the deadline to file one if you wanted to put an amendment to your overappraised value or
I
whatever.
appreciate that very much. We'll take it very seriously.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir. Anyone else? Oh. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice tie.
Thank you very much, Counselor. I appreciate that.
Not really.
3 minutes, Charlie.
I know.
Clock's
And
ticking.
I may just stand here and
I
just
just
stare.
banter with Counselor Cheney. It's okay, but
Yeah. No, I on behalf of Jennifer, who's sitting back there, and the Board of Directors from the Motorcycle Week Association, Mayor, I want to thank you for all you've done during your term here. Obviously, the whole council works at this, but you are the the main guy, and you've been so great during Motorcycle Week and the rest of the year helping us out. We got through the 2020 with a virus. That was a challenge for everybody here, and we were able to still pull the rally off, and that was a big deal to people all over the country. It really was. So I know we're going to see you around a lot, so you'll be able to keep bugging me and vice versa. But I do want to thank you. I didn't bring any flowers or anything, but just pretend I did.
You could have at least brought a frap, which are the best in the state.
Frap is outstanding for everybody. They all know that. So, but again, thank you very much, though. You've been, as a citizen for Laconia, you've done a great job. You followed well in the footsteps of the former mayors. So I appreciate that, and I salute you for that. So thank you again.
Thank you, Charlie. If no one else would like to speak, I'll close. This would have been agenda item number 9. I'd like to move up agenda item number 15, which is the mayor's report, and then we'll move right into some proclamations here. This is a very bittersweet moment for me in many respects. And it's my final meeting where I get to serve as the mayor. And I really feel strongly about 3 things, and that is a great sense of gratitude, tremendous pride in this city, and hope for the future. I have gratitude for the trust that the citizens of this community have placed in me and being elected 3 times to serve as the mayor. I have a great deal of pride in the work that this council and previous iterations have done. I have a great deal of pride in what the employees of the city of Laconia accomplish on a daily basis as well. When I first ran for mayor in 2019, I thought I had a catchy slogan. I still think it's kind of catchy. I said Laconia was a city on the move. 6 years later, I believe that even more strongly. We are a city with grit, determination, and a tremendous heart. And we keep rising to the challenges that are in front of us. We can all see it downtown with the revival of the Colonial Theater and the extensive new investment. You can see it in Lakeport, now a lively neighborhood again. We can see it at Weirs Beach with a new boardwalk, significantly improved lighting, new docks, and the number of people that are now visiting the Weirs Beach area, particularly in the summer months. And here's a number that I think says so much. Since 2019 or 18, the value of our city has gone up. Property values in this city have gone up over $2 billion. Now that may not say everything we need to know about the city, but I think it's unmistakable. 1, land prices and property are increasing in value, of course, but Laconia remains a desirable place for people to invest, to locate their business, to retire to, and I think most importantly, to call home. But let's be honest, what makes Laconia special isn't buildings or numbers, it's people. It's the people in this city that create a community. It's the volunteers at Hands Across the Table. Laconia's Got Lunch. Christmas Village. I think of Bob Hamill, Tony Felch, and the Bullducks. It's Rotary. It's Kiwanis. It's so many others that don't just talk about problems and challenges and the needs in the city. It's the people who actually roll up their sleeves and do something. And it's people I've been lucky to get to know and learn from. People whose work isn't always in the spotlight, but without them, Laconia would be a different place. And may I suggest to you, not as good as it really is right now. I look out and I think of Nancy Brown sitting there, who was really the glue in the mayor's and the manager's office. That is the nerve center. people coming in all day or phone ringing. She does it with a smile and with grace and with professionalism. It's been an honor to work with you, Nancy. Thank you. I've also been lucky to learn from so many in this city. Maggie Pritchard at Lakes Region Mental Health Center. Carmen Lorenz at Lakes Region Community Developers. Daisy Pierce at Navigating Recovery. Ashina Miller at CAP. School board member and my friend Jennifer Anderson. And Officer Eric Adams and firefighter Brian Keys. And countless others in this city. I'd like to say to all of you and to everyone who gives of themselves quietly and consistently, I just want to say, once again, you are seen, you are heard, and you are valued in this community. And of course, we can't forget the backbone of our city, our employees. From fire and police to public works, planning, the airport, our schools, our city clerk's office. Chief Joubert, Chief Canfield, Wes Anderson, Rob Mora, Marv Everson, Bob Champlin, Katie Gargano, and so many others. You keep this city running every single day. Your efforts fill me with pride, and I just want to say again, thank you. I also want to thank the City Council. It's been an honor working alongside of you. And I know moving forward, this city is in good hands. We haven't always agreed, but that's the value of civil discussion and debate and having the same priorities, which is how to leave this city just a little better than we found it. Having served both in the partisan world of the state senate and the nonpartisan role of councilor and mayor, I've seen the difference, and it's dark. It's distinct. And what I've learned is this: when scoring political points becomes more important than solving problems, when finger pointing takes the place of handshaking, when constant criticism drowns out collaboration, dysfunction follows, and we all pay the price, literally and figuratively. But Laconia has always been at its best when we are united and working together. Not uniform, but united. Laconia United, to me, is the dozens of people at Opeechee Park standing up against anti-Semitism and racism. It's 100 or more people linking arms around St. Joseph's Church, saving it from the wrecking ball and preserving our historic building. It's our community in quiet reflection at Rotary Park, remembering those we've lost to addiction. It's about gathering at Veterans Square to say thank you to our veterans. It's gathering at the high school in June to celebrate our graduates. It's the raucous celebrations of Multicultural Day and Pumpkin Fest. That's Laconia United. That's Laconia Pride. And I hope it never stops. Abraham Lincoln put it well: the best way to predict the future is to create it. And Laconia creates our future, not by ducking the hard stuff, but by leaning into challenges with courage, respect, and determination. We also create our future when we're able to pause, reflect, and appreciate all this city has been able to accomplish. We won't always agree, nor should we, but disagreement doesn't mean disrespect. Debate doesn't have to be destruction. The future of Laconia won't be decided by the pessimists who only find fault. It'll be determined by optimists, willing to dedicate themselves to finding common ground and solutions to our most challenging issues. I know some of those people, those optimists, those people willing to roll up their sleeves, sit right here at council table. As I wrap up the best job I've ever had, I leave with a firm resolve that Laconia is determined and resilient, and it really does remain a city on the move. I may no longer be mayor at the conclusion of the meeting, and Donna and I may be moving, but we are always and will always be proud citizens of Laconia. This is our home, and we both believe the brightest days are ahead. I just want to say one more time to everyone here and everyone maybe viewing it on YouTube, thank you. God bless you, and God bless the city of Laconia, and thank you for this most tremendous honor to serve as your mayor. I have a couple of proclamations. I'm going to step up here and I'm going to ask a couple of people to join me. This will be the last act I get to do tonight, but in many respects the most fun. You laughing, Councilor Haynes? You know, I had the opportunity, and maybe Tony, would you join me on this proclamation? I've had the opportunity to get involved with some great organizations in the city, and this morning had the opportunity, like I do so often in the summers, to get involved with Laconia Scott Lunch. Has a strong 15-year history in this city, serving food to our students during the summer months when their food supply may be a little insecure, to say the least. I've read some old articles about this idea and dream that Paula Guile had. Brought it to Bob Champlin 15 years ago, and he said, great idea, I have no idea how you're going to do it, how it's ever going to last. But we can say today that over 500 children, today alone, receive food from Laconia Got Lunch. Not only that, but this has been duplicated throughout the state. We are the original. This is your idea. And well, I bring Tony up here because I know Tony's been dedicated as well. So, Paula Guile and her husband will be leaving the community soon. They've been incredible contributors. I'm hoping that you would come up here as well and stand with us just for a minute while I read this proclamation. Whereas every community is made stronger by people who give themselves with open hearts and generous spirits and a true love for their neighbors. And whereas Bill and Paula Guile have spent a lifetime together doing just that, giving, leading, encouraging, and lifting others through countless acts of kindness and service. Whereas Bill and Paula are the founders of Got Lunch Laconia program, which has been successful for 15 years and has fed over 550 children this summer. The program has expanded to include literacy materials, fresh vegetables from local farmers, and whereas whether serving on community boards, supporting Got Lunch Laconia, volunteering with civic and faith organizations, or simply stepping forward whenever help was needed, Bill and Paula have been steady examples of what it means to care for one's community. And whereas Paula has shared her gifts of faith, compassion, through her involvement with religious organizations offering guidance and comfort to many, she was one of the founders of Church of Another Chance, the only church in the United States that works exclusively with men and women while they are incarcerated and after they are released. Paula embodies the wisdom of years as a minister, foster mother, and guidance counselor, along with the knowledge of numerous sources in the recovery community. She has the grace to meet people where they are and encourage them to embrace the highest vision of themselves. And whereas Bill has been a tireless supporter of civic causes and local initiatives, such as Kiwanis, where he serves as the immediate past president and secretary. And working each year on the bike rodeo, he brings energy, leadership, and optimism to efforts that make Laconia a better place for all. And whereas together Bill and Paula embody the spirit of service, teamwork, and kindness, inspiring others by the way they live their lives. Let me also add into this, just so we don't leave people out, from Got Lunch. It was a team of people who started Got Lunch. John Walker, Stan Brelier, Sandy Brelier, Dave Barth, Linda Tunnicliffe. Now therefore, I, Andrew J. Hosmer, Mayor of the City of Laconia, on behalf of the City Council and people of Laconia, do hereby extend heartfelt gratitude and recognition to Bill and Paula Guile for their extraordinary contributions and for showing us the power of dedication, generosity, and love of community. May this proclamation serve as a lasting tribute to their remarkable impact on the City of Laconia and a celebration of the countless lives you both have touched. Given under my hand and sealed the City of Laconia, New Hampshire, on the 25th day of August, the year 2025, I, Andrew J. Hosmer, Mayor of the city. Thank you, Bill and Paula.
Thank you. I'm just going to say, without the volunteers, this program would never have gotten off the ground. We went to Bob Champlin and talked to him, and he said, good luck. And then he calls in Mike, and he said, Mike's like, oh, this is a great idea. And then the children's auction supported us with our first $15,000. And then it was this community that wanted to feed the kids. And so every Monday throughout the summer, dedicated to all these people standing here, drive and deliver food to these kids that are food insecure, and it is without them that none of this would have happened. So thank you. It is an honor and a joy. Thank you.
I have another proclamation here, and I'm bringing up Councilor Cheney as a proud Marine. And this is a one for a business, but what really got me thinking about the business, again, is not only the beautiful building that they have built here in downtown Laconia as part of the renovation and renaissance of downtown, which is always greatly appreciated, but the fact that they were willing to take over the flagpole and the landscaping around it in Veterans, right in front of Veterans Square. So I'll bring a veteran up here because I know he shares in his good wishes. Anyway, Chris Logan and Mike Seymour, former Mayor Mike Seymour, are here on behalf of the Bank of New Hampshire. If you'd like to come up while I read this, you may be seated. It's not that long. Okay. Whereas for 194 years, Bank of New Hampshire, originally known as Laconia Savings Bank, has called Laconia home. Since its founding in 1831, the bank has not only grown as a successful local business, but has also become an essential part of the very fabric of our community. And whereas throughout the decades, Bank of New Hampshire has shown an unwavering commitment to making life better for the people of Laconia and the Greater Lakes region, whether by funding important local initiatives in housing, education, and health, or by lending a hand to organizations that make a real difference in people's lives. The bank has consistently put community first. Their generosity can be seen most recently in the $45,000 grant to Lakes Region community developers, advancing supportive housing and neighborhood development. And whereas the Bank of New Hampshire has also shown a steadfast belief in the renaissance of downtown Laconia by choosing to build its new headquarters right here in the heart of the city. The bank is investing not just in a building, but in the future of Laconia itself. Just as importantly, the bank has embraced the role of caretaker for our Veterans Square, maintaining both the landscaping and the flagpole that stand as symbols of honor and community pride. And whereas these commitments, along with the dedication of the bank's leadership, staff, and volunteers, embody the values of integrity, partnership, and generosity. Bank of New Hampshire is more than a financial institution. It is a true neighbor, a partner in progress, and a champion of the people of our city. Now therefore, I, Andrew J. Hosmer, Mayor of the City of Laconia, do hereby express our deepest gratitude and appreciation to the Bank of New Hampshire for nearly 2 centuries of service and dedication. We proudly recognize them as an integral part of our shared story and encourage all residents to celebrate their lasting contributions to the prosperity and well-being of Laconia. Given under my hand and sealed the City of Laconia, New Hampshire, this 25th day of August, in the year of our Lord, 2025. finally, it's pretty special to me for a number of reasons, but this is equally as special, maybe more so. It's a touch longer, but I'll read fast, okay? I often think, and I said tonight to some folks, we wait too long to tell people how much we appreciate them. I thought of it, some of you may remember Ray Burton. You go to his funeral and all the great things said about Ray. You know, did we tell Ray all these great things while he was still alive so we could appreciate how much we all thought of him and the state thought of him? And I wondered. So I want to call out and recognize someone this evening. Whereas the strength of Laconia lies in the dedication, generosity, and leadership of its people, it is fitting that we honor those individuals whose lives reflect the very best of our community spirit. The Citizen of the Year Award, this is the first time we've given it out, has been created to recognize an individual who goes above and beyond in service, kindness, and commitment to making Laconia a better place. We are honored that the first recipient of this award is my friend, Charlie St. Clair. Come on, Charlie. Charlie, I gave you over 3 minutes to speak earlier. Give me a little something here, okay?
Obviously, this mistake.
Charlie St. Clair has spent a lifetime giving back to this community. Through his many years as executive director of Laconia Motorcycle Week, bringing international recognition and pride to our city, and through his service as state representative, advocating tirelessly for the people of Laconia. Charlie is admired not only for his leadership and accomplishments, some of which are noted below here, but also for his humor, his warmth, and willingness to help others, qualities that have earned him the respect and friendship of countless residents. A little background on Charlie. He was born and raised in Laconia, New Hampshire, and attended Laconia High School, class of 1969. He did get the diploma. Okay? He attended junior college at Bryant and Stratton in Boston, and then continued his college education at the University of Colorado in Boulder, majoring in history with a minor in education, and subsequently taught elementary and high schools in Colorado as well as Boston. Can you imagine being a junior high student walking in and Charlie? The good times were on, I'm telling you. After attending law school in Massachusetts, Charlie continued living in Boston for over 15 years while driving a cab and subsequently owning his own video business in Brookline. He came back home to Laconia in 1991 to work for the Laconia Motorcycle Week Association to open a restaurant, the Colorado Club, which he operated for several years before turning his full-time attention to the Motorcycle Week Association. Charlie co-authored the Images of America book, Laconia Motorcycle Week, detailing the history of the world's oldest motorcycle rally. He was inducted into the Sturgis Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 2008 and awarded the Recreational Road Riding Organizer of the Year in 2013. He earned the Lifetime Achievement Award in Tourism from the Lakes Region Tourism Association in 2018. Charlie is also the proprietor of the Laconia Antique Center in downtown Laconia. This 20,000 square foot antique center follows the St. Clair's family's love of antiques and history, and the best frap in the state, believe me. Residents of the Lakes region and beyond can see Charlie on Today in Focus, which he co-hosted with Jennifer Anderson on Lakes Region Public Access. Charlie previously served Belmont and Laconia in District 9 as a District 9 state representative, and currently serves Laconia as a District 5. He also works for the Laconia Motorcycle Week Association and can be found at the Laconia Antique Center most weekends. Charlie is also committed to his community through his service highlighted Chair of the City Council of Laconia Planning Board, Downtown TIF, Heritage Commission, active member of the New Hampshire Motorcycle Rights Association, instrumental in bringing the New Hampshire Pumpkin Festival to Laconia in 2015. Member of the Lakes Region Chamber of Commerce, Lakes Region Tourism Association, and Weirs Action Committee. Charlie acts as a year-round ambassador for the city of Laconia and the state of New Hampshire, because whether he is working or not, he's always encouraging people to visit our beautiful city on the lakes. Charlie's legacy of one of service, pride, and devotion to Laconia, setting an inspiring example of what it means to be a true citizen of our community. Now therefore, I, Andrew J. Hosmer, Mayor of the City of Laconia, on behalf of the City Council and residents of Laconia, do hereby recognize, celebrate, and proudly honor Charlie St. Clair as the inaugural recipient of the first annual Citizen of the Year Award with heartfelt gratitude for his extraordinary contributions to our city.
I am not worthy.
Charlie. Where's Jennifer?
Jennifer's right there.
I know.
Mayor, don't go there.
Oh.
I usually don't have a chance to give a card. Donna, would you join us, please? Proclamation, City of Laconia. Whereas Andrew Hosmer has served the City of Laconia with distinction and dedication and integrity as Mayor, City Councilor, and State Senator, providing visionary leadership and tireless advocacy for the betterment of the community. And whereas during his tenure, Mayor Hosmer has championed initiatives and strengthened civic engagement, promoted economic development, enhancement of public safety, and preserved the natural beauty and the cultural heritage of this city. Whereas Mayor Hosmer has demonstrated an unwavering commitment of collaboration and inclusivity, fostering the spirit of unity among residents, city staff, and elected officials. Whereas his leadership during the times of challenges and opportunity has had a lasting impact on the city, and legacy will continue to inspire future generations of public servants. And whereas Mayor Hosmer has announced his resignation, concluding his term of service with honor and leaving beyond accomplishments and reflection of his deep love for the city of Laconia and its people. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Laconia City Council, on behalf of the citizens of Laconia, does hereby express its profound gratitude and appreciation to Andrew J. Hosmer for his exemplary service and leadership. Given under my hand the seal of the City of Laconia, State of New Hampshire, this 25th day of August in the year of our Lord, 2025, Mark Haynes, Mayor Pro Tem. Congratulations. And we have this gift for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, of course. Didn't want to give it up. Walk around with it. It's pretty neat. Thank you, Mark. Kind and thoughtful of you. Oops, I guess we got too much stuff. All right.
Congrats.
I now confidently and proudly turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Mark Haynes.
Thank you, Mayor. We are indebted to you.
Yeah, thank you.
At this point in time, I'd like to ask the council for a 10-minute recess.
Just get us to define a real.
Okay. Thank you, Katie. I'd like to call the meeting back to order, please.
I think I have a little more. All right.
Next on the agenda is item 13A, is a public hearing. Resolution 25,
Did we accept minutes?
We did
No.
not. I don't think we did.
Up to 7.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
We did move around a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a little
Okay.
confused. I'm starting to
Sorry
check off
about
my-
that.
checking off my boxes here.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to 7, item 7, acceptance of the minutes. Minutes of this Laconia City Council meeting on August 11th, 2025 were distributed to the members of the Laconia City Council on August 21st, 2025. With no corrections or changes submitted to the clerk, the minutes will be accepted as distributed. All right, now we're on 13A.
Yep.
Resolution 25-27, request to authorize the city manager to accept and expend a New Hampshire Department of Safety grant in the amount of $40,000. $40,000. Notice of this public hearing was made available on August 13th, 2025, edition of Laconia Daily Sun and posted at Laconia City Hall, Laconia Community Center, Laconia Public Library, and the offices of SAU. I'd like to open the public hearing at 7:52. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter is more than welcome. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:53. All right. Item 14, presentations. Introduction of the master plan project. Robert Moore, Planning and Zoning Director. Rob?
I got some handouts for you all. Start over this way, or this way. Good evening. I just want to kind of give you a quick background of everything that's going on with our current master plan. So the current master plan that we have was adopted in 2018, and it does not reflect the current challenges that are facing the city today. Our department has not only heard from counselors and land use boards and residents and business owners, but we've heard from all of them with all of their concerns. So it's going to be very important for us to do this master plan and take all those inputs that we've heard from them and put that together to really create a master plan that works for us. So some brief highlights. We went out to bid with an RFP July 1st. We got back 8 submittals. And then we went through a scoring process. We had myself, the assistant planner, Tyler, and our economic developer, Joya, score all of them. After we scored everything, we then called all of the references. I think it was Hampton, Bar Harbor, and Dover. And then we got extremely great reviews from the contractor that we were doing the check on. So we ended up giving them a call saying that we had selected them, and that is Resilience Planning and Design based out of Plymouth, New Hampshire. They had absolutely wonderful references, and the products that they produced were incredible. So we can't wait to see what they do for us. Just a side note, our 2018 master plan is so short, their bid proposal was longer than our current master plan, so high hopes. So they have some subcontractors because they don't have all the staff to do all the chapters we requested. So they contracted out with RKG Associates, and they're going to be doing all the associated studies with our chapters that we're doing. And then they also contracted out with Beta Group, who is doing all the who has the traffic engineer, and they'll be doing the transportation chapter of our master plan. So we've had our first meeting with them to kind of go over what we're looking for to set up the basis for all of our meetings. So the first meeting we're going to have will be a kickoff meeting with City Council and all of our land use boards. That is going to be on October 6th at 6 p.m. at the Belknap Mill. I'll send you a copy of everything, and it's going to be posted in the paper, on the city's website. We'll have it in the Daily Sun. Everywhere we can post it. We're also doing a Facebook page for it, which will be posted on there, so people will be welcome to follow us. The Facebook page hasn't been created yet, but it's in the works. They will also be doing a website for the master plan process. So if people want to just go on the website, it'll have all the updates, all the meeting schedules, everything that's going on, all the data that we have. So it's going to be pretty fantastic. So that's the master plan in a nutshell. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Council Voga.
Thank you. Rob, thank you for doing this. It's been needed for many years to update this project. And I was just curious, as they do the traffic plan and review that, would that be in mind with our future planned growth out in the north end of our city to the impacts it'll have on Elm Street and North Main Street and Meredith Center?
Absolutely. We've already been talking to them. They've been kind of following what we've been doing for a while now anyways, so they know some of the projects that we have. And that's going to be in some of the workshops that we do, is we're going to be highlighting to them all the big projects that we have going on. We do intend to have the Public Works Director with us to go over all their findings. We should be getting a updated traffic study here in the next couple weeks that we'll also provide to them and to their contractor to help make sure that we have all the data possible, so that when they're doing that transportation chapter, we have everything highlighted. So we can really look to what the future needs of Laconia are going to be.
Thank you for everything you've done.
You're very welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Councilor?
Thanks. Well, first of all, this looks fantastic. I'm really excited about this, so thank you for getting this together. I was wondering how many people will be on the master plan and steering committee?
We'll have 7 people.
That sounds like a manageable number. That's
Yep.
good.
No, that was, we thought that 7 was a pretty fair number, and it gave us, if there was a tie, we could still split it. So I think we have a great board, or a great committee formed, so I look forward to the collaborative efforts everybody brings to the table.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Councilor Cheney.
Councilor Bogart asked about Elm Street and whatever, but I want to be assured that state school property is going to be a major part of this master plan.
I think it absolutely will be. That's going to be almost a village on itself in Laconia, and I think it'll definitely be very prominent in the master plan to get all the data points for that.
I'm hoping we can get some report from you about whether performance zoning at that location, through this organization looking at it, I'm hoping we can get some sort of a recommendation from you about performance zoning in that particular area.
So I am very excited about what this is going to bring to us. I think that this is going to give us an opportunity to rewrite some of our ordinances to make sure they better align with the character of the neighborhoods that we have. So I'm very excited, and I think that the master plan is really going to highlight some of those things that you're looking for and possibly rewriting performance zoning.
Thank you. Councilor Susie?
One other thing, Rob, are they gonna look at, for example, Laconia Village? And I know they gave us a report with some expectations in regards to number more students maybe coming into the schools, because I'm just looking long-term. Are they gonna have X amount of students that we have to start thinking about another school? Are we gonna now start thinking about additional safety services in the area, another police station or substation, that kind of stuff? Will they look at all of that in regards to not just Laconia Village, but the increased development we're having at the Weirs area or the other areas of the city?
So we did not contract out with them to evaluate the services, but I think that is something that they could do for us if we wanted to do that with them. So I will reach out to them to see if that's something that we can add to them.
I'd like to see another opinion. If you take the Laconia Village report, they said, sure, we're gonna have X amount of students, and we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, but to collaborate that.
Yep.
Okay, to, another second opinion to that, so as a city, with the school department, we can start planning for the future.
I can absolutely reach out to them to add that as part of our our scope.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, Rob, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Job.
Okay, next on the agenda is the Mayor Pro Temp's report. I'm just kidding. You're just stuck with me. You're just stuck.
Insist.
You're just stuck with me for the next 10 days,
No,
that's all.
we want a report.
No, we're all set. Okay, I'll give you a report. then.
Next item on the agenda.
Just so I don't forget someone, I would just like to thank the departments and the administration for the barbecue. It was well-attended, the employees appreciated it, and most important, we appreciate, and I think I speak for the council, and I know I speak for the council, we appreciate every employee that the city of Laconia has. They do great work, and was well-attended, and I would like to thank all of them, the departments that were involved in setup, cleanup, the whole works. It was just a great afternoon, and thanks to all of them. All right, council comments. Yes, Councilor Felch.
Yes, so I just want to, all of us to remember a great friend of mine who recently passed away in Warren Bailey. Warren was a key person to the city. He did so much for this community, the children's auction. I could go on and on and on and on about Warren. He was a good friend of mine, and he will be missed.
Thank you, Councilor Felch. Councilor Cheney?
If I may, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I received an email from a citizen who expressed significant concerns. Some time back, I believe on June 9th, this person suffered a asthma attack, was transported by Bristol EMS to Franklin. Apparently it was significant enough that she was subsequently transferred to the lakes. While she was there, she suffered several asthma attacks as a result of, as it happens, staff issues where they were wearing perfumes and whatever that set her asthma off. I don't bring it up except to say, I think you've all heard me say before, I think we need the hospital, and particularly the president of the hospital, to come here and talk to us about the staffing issues, about whatever long-term plans. I understand they've made some significant investments. I talked to some of the staff people when I was at Concord, in Concord, the city of Concord, and they said that several different departments said, you know, Concord's invested a lot of money in equipment and whatever have you. And that was there, thought it would be hard for Concord Hospital to walk away. That said, this sort of thing, this lady talked to, I have a list of different people she spoke to try and get fixed this problem of her asthma being aggravated, and to no avail, essentially. I think it's because of the staffing issues and the lack of staff or insufficient amount of staff. I know that's not something Concord Hospital, Concord intentionally does, but, and I guess the first union effort by nurses in the state is here. So I think I think I'd like to hear more about it. I hope the council can ask the manager to try and set something up so that we can meet with them publicly, so the public can also hear what we hear. And when are we going to get stuff in writing? I know you all are probably sick and tired of me saying, let's get it in writing. But if you think about it, we need some written stuff, I think, to assure us that efforts are going to be made to eliminate the issues this woman had. That's not the woman, this woman had. But other things that require sufficient staff. There's sections of the hospital that aren't being used. There's no chairs, there's no phones, there's no utensils, there's nothing. We have no maternity ward any longer in this city. So I'd like to be able to ask the hospital administration some of those questions. So I'd ask the council to join me in asking the manager to try and set up a meeting at a subsequent date. We have until May of next year. So we don't have a lot of time if they say in May, see ya. I think we need to know what our options are. Most, and I know the manager and the now former mayor went down and met with them and came back satisfied. And I don't mean to impart any criticism of either of them. I just would like all of us to hear it. Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Councilor Susie?
To add on to what you said, Councilor Cheney, didn't we meet separately with an attorney that was gonna help guide us, or at least give us back a report on the status, and he was gonna talk to the AG's office?
Yeah, he's been working through that, and we can get a report from him.
We'd like to see something from him, please. Thank
Do
you.
that.
Sooner rather than later.
All right, okay. Councilor Hoffman?
Yeah, the mayor talked a lot about the revitalization of downtown, and I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to put some numbers to the idea that downtown has been revitalized. Since the opening of the Colonial, at that time, the value of the downtown TIF district was $108 million. It's currently estimated at $148 million. That's an increase of 37% at about $40 million. The downtown district generates $1.6 million a year in revenue to the city between school and city taxes. I think that's an incredible success, and I think a lot of credit goes to soon-to-be former Mayor Hosmer, and I know he shares the credit with the former mayor and former councils, but I think it's a great legacy that he's left behind, that, you know, when you have the vision to have a community invest in itself and promote economic development, that we've really achieved a self-sustaining district downtown anchored by the Colonial Theater, and I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, Councilor Hoffman, but, you know, there's other things that are intangible that have added to that you can't measure in dollars and cents.
Sure, absolutely. It's a great theater.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Bogart?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Two things. One, with the music on the canal, I was there along with Tony for the last couple, and I found that quite interesting and enjoyable. Matter of fact, it brought a cross-section of the city into the Canal Street area, and I found it quite enjoyable for the age group. It was an old fart like me all the way down to young people enjoying themselves, dancing in the streets and stuff, and I found it quite entertaining. And I learned a very important thing about downtown from that association. I don't know if people realize it or not. I'm going to give a quick shot to the candy store. I did not realize we had a speakeasy in downtown, and I found it quite entertaining when I went inside through the Coke machine. I would recommend people definitely take advantage of enjoying at least one entertaining drink at the speakeasy, because it really was a 30s style type setup. So I did find that enjoyable. And if I may segue to one other thing, in the state of New Hampshire, they have passed having social areas. What social areas are is that it provides it was an enabling law. So the cities themselves, or towns or villages, must enact on one of their elections to the city residents, like we did with Keno, and find out if that's something they wish. But I found in the situation where we had a car show, and it was a very lovely car show, some beautiful machines. And then we had the Canal Street band going on. People were enjoying themselves, but they were not allowed to venture out of the square or the rectangle. And so you couldn't enjoy that beverage as you were looking and enjoying the cars. So we still have time, I do believe, because it's been enabled by the state, so I'm not sure of the language and stuff. But if we get it on the November ballot and allow the people to make a decision, do we want to set up some social areas around town? We have a pumpkin fest that on certain nights, if we grow Pumpkin Fest to a Friday night, it might be a night so adults can come downtown in the evening time and enjoy Pumpkin Fest. And then Saturday is Family Day, like it has always been, a family day for everybody. We have opportunities there, but you know, it's up to the city council to ask that it be placed on the ballot in November so that the people can make a choice. And, you know, so that's my thoughts. Thank you.
If I might, one last thing. I'd like to add to Councilor Hoffman's comments. I think the Laconia Police Commission, and particularly the Laconia Police Chief, deserve some real credit for the effort they've made to try and improve the appearance of downtown as it relates to folks who might not help as much as we'd like them to. They've done a reasonably good job in Rotary Park. However, it seems to have crossed the river, at least for the moment. But, I mean, I think those dollars figures are somewhat affected by the effort that the police department's put, and other departments. I don't mean to say nobody else, but I think the police department, the police commission, recognizing, you know, the number of complaints they got from businesses about people using their bathrooms to take showers and whatever, they made a real effort to deal with that problem, and have made headway. I think there's still room. We'd like more money, but there's still room for improvement. But I think the two go hand in hand. You can't get more businesses if they don't see quiet enjoyment of the downtown area, and you know, the police department can't come to us if they can't get the job done. So anyways, I'm prattling at this point, but I just think in conjunction with what the counselor said, we should also recognize the efforts that the city manager, quietly, others have made to try and tamp down this problem we've had in order to allow the expansion that Councilor Hoffman refers to. Thank you.
Councilor Cheney, it is noticeable.
Yes, I'm really sincere in saying they've made a real effort.
They have. Okay, moving along. Committee reports. Councilor Susie.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about Pumpkin Fest, because there's a Pumpkin Fest committee that we have together. And just to give everybody a quick update, we have today over 150 vendors that are coming in. The phones keep ringing. It seems like now it's becoming very active. A lot more people want to participate. We've got, right now, I believe it's 5 different bands operating at different times of the day, plus other, I don't know, witches and National Guard band and everything else coming. We're going to have, the main stage is going to be at the Bank of New Hampshire parking lot facing south, but it's really growing. Car show, all kinds of things going on. I just want to make sure we get a big shout out for that. We're trying to get a lot more publicity. We're getting sponsorships, financial sponsorships from many different people. But we're still going out and trying to find more. But I just wanted to let everybody know. And as Councilor Bogart says, sure, I know I would. I'm not sure about the rest of the committee. Would love to see you go to Friday and Saturday and all, but this is the first year it's under the city's sponsorship, you might say, control. So we're learning, and it's going very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor, the only thing I would add is I would like to make sure that as you come into Laconia, you know that the Pumpkin Fest is going on. You don't have to wait till you get all the way to the lights and, oh, there's something going on.
If you remember, I believe it's Motorcycle Weekend, and the other is the big banners right near, but as you come right across the line, I think there's one plan for right there.
Okay, great. Okay, any other committee reports? Okay, I have two very quickly. Over the course of 2 meetings, Government Operation and Ordinance met concerning the commercial use of docks at the weirs. And we heard from quite a few of the businesses. And it appears that every time that we thought we had come to a resolution, another problem arose. So it was the committee's determination that the use of the docks would stay private. The other thing that I would like to add from the Heritage Commission, the buildings on Old Prescott Road and 406 Union Avenue, the Harris Furniture Building, the Heritage Commission had no options other than to allow the demolition permits to proceed. At the Heritage Commission meeting, we did talk about historic districts, and there is some plans as we're moving forward. And I did talk extensively about the weirs.
Thank you.
That was so.
Thank you.
Taken. Councilor Susi? Councilor
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. What I'd like to say is that I read in the Sun, and I want to thank you very much, okay, for the Heritage Commission, because on the Harris Furniture Building, I understand they're going to save the stained glass. They're going to save a lot of the architecture in there and use it, put it away for storage if we ever have a chance to use it again somewhere like that. I think that's awesome. And I just want to say thank you.
Okay. Councilor Bogut?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I was wondering if it's possible with the discussion of the commercial use of the docks, if that possibly remain open, and see if over time that something can be worked out. It seems that if we just close the door, that we're losing the opportunity of bringing business to the weirs and people as these boats move from Meredith to Alton to Laconia. They're moving people back and forth as a taxi cab. And it seems to me that as they're putting people on our docks that are going to shop at our local stores and stuff, that it would be advantageous for us to do something in that manner, is in the same manner as our taxi cabs and limousine services and the such, that we don't hinder their drop-off points or anything like that. So I'm not trying to say anything other, if we can possibly just keep it not as a dead issue, but as an issue that can be worked on, and maybe somewhere in the future some kind of agreement could be worked out.
That's possible. Councilor, changing to you.
I'd like to make a couple of comments, Steve. Councilor Bogart. I initially suggested that we provide some space for those folks. I didn't mention before, but I had talked to somebody on the Mount Washington who casually said to me, you can count on one hand the number of people who leave the Mount Washington and go spend any money in the Weirs. They get back in their cars and leaves. But probably the thing that, for me at least, pushed me over the edge, when you see the ads for these services, they run $400 to $900, $400 for the half day, $450, and $900 for a full day. And when we said a annual fee of $1,000 to $1,500, they got ugly about it. Some of them did, and that kind of put me off. It really did. Lastly, I've had, because it's my ward, Tony's close enough, it's almost his. I've had, I can't tell you how many residents complain about, you know, those docks have been non-commercial for 30 or 40 years, and they shouldn't be, you shouldn't be changing that now. The taxpayers paid a lot of money to put new docks in there, and you're not willing to even give us a fee each year to maintain the docks that you may bump or bang or make a mess of. And the people that you're bringing in, you know, leaving trash or whatever. They just disappointed me, frankly, that they weren't willing to pay a fee. And like I said, I did talk to somebody from the Mount Washington who said there aren't many people who get off my boat and go up and spend money in the Weirs. So, thank you.
Not that I if I may.
Okay, just
Not-
quickly.
Yeah, very quick. Not that I disagree with your thoughts, but I think that if it was just left open, that time may change people's minds from the business standpoint and stuff, as they see the advantages of maybe that fee, you know, over time. So that's all I'm saying is just keep it on the table to
But
work
Counselor,
with.
it's open, they can come
Right.
bring this subject up again.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
So
let
it-
me add to it real quick. So most of these are businesses that pick people up in the Weirs and then bring them around the lake and drop them off in the Weirs. There is no taxi service on Lake Winnipesaukee. So they're not picking somebody up someplace else and bringing them to the Weirs. Also, most of these businesses don't even have a business or property in Laconia. So they're not even paying taxes for those docks. So those are some of the things we ran into, why, but it can always be brought back to the council.
And I would add, both Tony and I were somewhat sympathetic initially.
At first.
So it, and again, it can be brought up again.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'll just make a comment on that. Just, I have been talking to some of the business owners. They're really good communicators. They communicate with me a lot on it, and they've been told the same thing, that, you know, as they kind of regroup what they're thinking, that there's options to come back. So they've been told the same thing.
Okay. All right, thank you. Perfect segue into your reports. City manager.
Quick, current agenda items, 19.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You'll hear from our lawyers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, item 19, citizens' request to comment on current agenda items. This is the time set aside that if there's anything on the agenda that the public would like to speak to, now is the time. Okay. Going twice. Okay.
I think you,
Didn't go fast enough.
On the-
Ty,
Thank you again. On the chickens, which you have on your agenda, I hope that you're able to work something out. The planning board did work on that, and sent that back to you guys. I think it's a doable thing. The main thing is, Councilor Cheney talks about a lot, is that if there are rules in place, they need to be enforced. And with regards to, well, it's easy to do. But I hope there is good movement on that, because there has been a lot of people that would like to have 2 or 3 chickens for eggs or whatever forever. So, and I know everybody thinks we're in an industrial area, but we're also kind of rural too. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. City manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Including your packet tonight, your projects updates. I'm just gonna hit a couple of highlights. They've been doing work on Hilliard Road and Appleton Street, and those are completed now. Old North Main Street is just about complete and should be done within the next week or so, and then they're gonna start working their way down into Morningside Drive and a couple other parts of the city. The pedestrian bridge, we've been talking about this for a little while over here. They're just waiting for the consultants to bring back their information. As a reminder, this was a congressionally direct spending item that is going to replace the footbridge over here behind the mills. Hilliard Road, the culvert, they're just about wrapped up their pre-design phase. Included on your agenda packet tonight is the hazard mitigation approvals. This is one of the things that they're waiting for their final check boxes on the state funding. So that'll come up for discussion in a little while. The Opeachy Loop should be started work here pretty soon. That's our portion of that area, which is the Doris Ray Court to Franklin Street. Winnipesaukee River Basin, I'm gonna skip over to the next page. This is something that you guys are probably gonna get involved in. Wes is our representative to the Winnipesaukee River Basin program. We've been having a lot of discussion with the state and with our, the consortium that handles this. Excuse me, to determine what is the correct amount of money that the valuation of all their property is, which is what is a piece of what we pay into. They've been working closely with the state. What's most likely going to come down is a letter from each of the member communities to the state with their recommendation and their expectation, potentially even going as far as working with a representative in the House on an LSR on changing their methodology. Before that gets signed or before that goes through, that would be from you, so it would be done publicly in a meeting, and everybody would hear what our recommendations are. So they've been working hard on that, which I appreciate. Weirs Beach dock reconfiguration is pretty well done. There's a couple items that they're just checking off, some punch list stuff. But that is just about done. We did work with the Mount Washington. Director Anderson and I went up today and spoke with the Mount Washington. With the new docks, their configuration, there was a little bit of a, if the boats parked incorrectly, the private boats parked incorrectly, it did cause a little bit of trouble for them. We added some we'll be adding some signage. Should take care of any problems. They were very pleased. The Mount Washington, the people that we talked to were super excited about this project, and we were able to fix some things for them. Laconia State School update, I reached out to them today just to see if they had any real updates. They're working through their conditions of approval for their master plan, which came to the planning department. The biggest one on that is their traffic study. They've been working directly with New Hampshire DOT, so there's a lot that's going to be coming back to us for approval, but the state also has approval, so there's a lot of moving parts in there. It's a big project, nothing's quick as far as the traffic study goes, but they're working very diligently on getting that done.
Sure.
Question on the traffic study, are we gonna see that when it's done?
Yes.
Or is it just gonna go to planning, or will it come to the city council?
It would go back to planning. It would go back to planning, but we can make it a condition that it comes here for you to see.
Please, I'd
Yep,
like
we
to
can
see-
do that.
If the council agrees, I'd like to see the traffic.
Yep, we can do that. And just as a reminder for you guys, September 4th, 6 PM will be your special meeting for replacing Mayor Hosmer's position.
Okay.
And the last thing I have is on the next page is just monthly economic development report. If you look at the unemployment rates, they are right, these go back to June, and there are really no outliers there for us based on Belknap County and the state. And our CPI numbers at 2.61 for the year.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Kurt. Any questions for city manager? Seeing none?
Thank you.
All right, new business, under new business, 21A, resolution to adopt and set the amount of property tax credits for disabled veterans for service-connected total disability. Kurt, would you just want to lead us?
I would be glad to. So I will start off by just saying that what we're looking for tonight is to send this to a public hearing. So just, there's no real decision that has to be made tonight. You can get the standard veterans tax credit, you can get the all veterans tax credit, but there's also a total and permanent service-connected disability. House Bill 99 was just passed this year, which next year, so in April of 26, you wouldn't be able to stack the two together. You wouldn't be able to get the $3,000 total and permanent disability as well as the standard veteran tax credit. So in theory, the amount of money that certain veterans are getting would go down. Our recommendation is that, and we've already budgeted for this, our recommendation is that we just make the total and permanent disability, the two numbers combined anyhow. It is in RSA that we're within our number that we're allowed to do, and that way nobody gets caught losing any money. We want to make sure that no veterans, especially no veterans, are losing any money. And that's what this would do for us. Looking to send it to a public hearing. We'll have the assessing office in here for the public hearing if there's any specific questions on the RSA. But that's the big piece of it.
Okay, thanks, Kurt. This entails three proposed motions. Motion 1, I move to waive the reading of Resolution 25-28 in its entirety and to read by title only. Moved by Councilor Cheney, seconded by Councilor Susie. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative. Second motion, I move the first reading of Resolution 25-28, resolution to adopt and set the amount of property tax credits for disabled veterans for service-connected total disability. Councilor Hoffman moves the motion, seconded by Councilor Susie. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in affirmative, Katie. Thank you. Last but not least, I move to schedule a public hearing on September 8th, 2025, during the regular city council meeting regarding Resolution 25-28, a resolution to adopt and set the amount of property tax credit for disabled veterans for service-connected total disability to gather public input prior to any action being taken. So moved by Councilor Phelps, second by Councilor Susie. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in affirmative. Katie. All right. Next on the agenda is 21B. That is the approval of hazardous mitigation, and I'd like to call Chief Jubert, if he'd discuss that with us, please.
Mayor Pro Tem, if you would, before we make the motion, I have an adjustment to the motion. We'll just get to that
Okay.
at the end of this.
Good evening, everyone. So the hazard mitigation plan update is from the plan of 2018. It's supposed to be updated every 5 years, so we're a little late because of COVID. But we worked very hard over the last year to try to get this done in a timely fashion so we could meet federal requirements for grant funding, and the document that you received is a result of that. So from 2018 to now, it's pretty much just an update of that plan. I'd be happy to answer any questions about some of those updates.
Included in your, I passed out today and I gave it to the city clerk for the official records. There were also some changes made to the, you were presented with. There's nothing really major on there. I'm sure the chief can go over any of them if you have any questions, as well as a resolution that needs to be signed by you to get the approval just to pass that along. And I think Mayor Pro Tem has both of those.
That's this revisions list?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Correct.
Councilor
Most of them
Hoffman?
are clerical issues.
Just want to say I was impressed by how comprehensive that report is. I think it was 173 pages. And
yes.
I enjoyed the section on space weather. That was interesting. That's all.
So the goal is for emergency preparedness and making a resilient community, and I think we've accomplished that with this plan.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for the chief? Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Mayor, did you want to read into the
Yes.
record, the resolution pieces that we discussed?
Uh,
Just so we make sure it's on record and Katie does have
Yes,
it.
if I can find it. Okay, yes, I've got it. Okay. Kurt, point, that revisions list, is that part of the record too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the city clerk has record of that.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Whereas the adoption of the plan will make the city of Laconia, New Hampshire eligible for funding to mitigate the impacts of future hazards. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council, one, that the plan is hereby adopted as the official plan of the city of Laconia, New Hampshire. Two, the respective officials identified in the mitigation action of the plan are hereby directed to pursue an implementation and recommended actions assigned to them. Three, the future revisions and plan maintenance required by 44 CFR 201 period 6 and the FEMA are hereby adopted as part of the resolution for a period of 5 years from the date of this resolution. 4, the annual report of the progress of the plan's mitigation action items shall be presented to the city council by the emergency management director. Okay. The motion is I move to approve the city of Laconia's mitigation plan 2025 as submitted.
Mr. Mayor, if I may?
Yep.
I would recommend that I move to approve the City of Laconia Hazard Mitigation Plan 2025 as amended, and that you approve signature of the resolution by the seated council.
Okay. Katie, have you got that? Okay. All right. All those in favor, is there any discussion? I'm sorry.
They need a motion.
So moved. Councilor Felch, Councilor Bogart, second. Is there any discussion? I'm gonna get this eventually. I don't have that much practice, as you can see.
You're doing fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no one's questioning.
We're just glad you're doing it, not us.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative, Kate. Okay.
On the, just one question.
Is the mayor's pay prorated for the mayor pro tem?
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Is there a document we need to circulate?
Yes,
sign?
and I'm gonna circulate that. I'll give it to Counselor Hoffman and he can move that along. Okay. Item 21C, ordinance 2025-235-12, 235-13, 235-14 permitted uses related to the keeping of domestic chickens as a residential accessory use in the city. Rob, Tyler, either one of you would like to address that?
Yeah, he got master plan, I got stuck with chickens, so. I have some handouts as well here, just like we did for the master plan. So I'll pass them this way, and then. Fell right in my pocket. My bad. All right. So, let's see here. So in your handout there, there's some timeline for what's occurred and also some background information for the last time we brought it before City Council, well before my time. Currently, right now, as it stands, we have proposed language for both word usage, definitions, such as adding a definition for a chicken coop and chicken run, as well as performance standards for the accessory use. And we're also adding language to the table of permitted uses to basically permit it as an accessory use for residential single-family homes only. In the RR1, RR2, RS, SFR, RG, RA, CR, UC, and C, all areas where we permit single-family homes by right. The areas where we don't permit any single-family homes at all, the IP, the I, and the AI, we would not permit this as an accessory use, keeping with that. Some highlights of performance standards that we've added in there. Minimum lot size, you'd have to have a minimum of a 1/4 acre to at least be able to have this accessory use. Beyond that, you're only allowed to keep up to 5 chickens. Roosters aren't allowed. You can't have any other type of poultry, just chickens. It must be located on a lot with a primary use of single family, so if you have a multifamily or a duplex, you can't have them. No person is permitted to sell eggs or engage in any breeding, slaughtering, or commercial activity on site. A lot of this we have taken from other cities that have similar ordinances. Just make sure that we're covering our bases here. And then we wouldn't allow free roam chickens either. They must be secured in a coop during non-daylight hours. We've also added performance standards for chicken coops themselves, about their size, where they're located on the lot. Additionally, we also require an enclosed chicken run, so that way, like I said, they're not free roam, and there's some performance standards set aside for that. And then the chicken coop and chicken run cannot be located within 20 feet of any property line, and they must be in the rear of the yard, so they're not in the side or the front. We also require that all their feed supplies for chickens have to be rodent-proof and kept in containers. And then any manure, we've limited the amount of manure that can be kept on site, and where that is specifically stored on site, again, 20 feet away from any property line. And it has to be removed. Any manure not used for composting or fertilizing, any additional waste materials such as bags or anything like that, or waste eggs, need to be removed from the property immediately and properly.
Councilor Susie.
The only comment I have is that, as I travel extensively, okay, I checked in a couple of areas that are not around here, and they had something in their ordinance also that stated basically the type of chickens that people could keep, because there was concern about diseases coming over with certain breeds or something else like that. So I just asked you to look into that, maybe check the web and see if there's something like that. Other than that, I'm fine. No roosters makes me happy, because at 5:30 every morning, right up the street, I hear them.
Perfect. Yes, we will look into that for sure.
Okay. Anyone else?
Have you ever noticed the things that Rob lets you introduce as opposed to?
Rank has its privileges, right? So I have, yes.
Okay. All right. Councilor Hoffman.
This is almost as exciting as the master plan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm for this. I think it's fantastic. I think a lot of the cities in New Hampshire that allow this are the bigger cities for some reason, and I feel like we're a little behind the curve on this, and I think we're just kind of aligning ourselves to the culture of the state and where people want to be with this. I think it's great.
Yes. And just to get back to Councilor Susie real quick here, we did define exactly which breed of chickens you are allowed to have. So
And the only reason I brought it up is that there was a big, this was in Alabama, they had a big disruption over certain breeds were coming in from some other countries. That's why.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Thank you.
Can I just say how impressed I am with how fast my department heads get you answers? I mean, I can't have.
Any other questions for Tyler?
No, thank you, Tyler.
Okay. Thank you, Tyler. All right, we have 3 motions to this. One, I move to waive the reading of ordinance 2025-235-12, 1341 in its entirety, and to read by title only. Councilor Felch, seconded by Councilor Hoffman. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative. Second, I move to conduct a first reading of ordinance 2025-235-12, 1341, amending the following sections of Chapter 235 of the City Code. Article 2, 235-12, word usage. Article 2, 235-13, definitions. Article 7, 235-41 residential accessory uses, and attachment 2, table 1, table of permitted uses. Counselor Hoffman moves the motion. Counselor Phelps. Is there any discussion? I'd just like to add that I'm in total favor of this. I'm just hoping that people will abide by the restrictions, and there is no means of enforcement other than going to court. So I hope that people will use this well. Counselor Counselor Bogart, I'm sorry.
I support this. I think it's a good move. But if people don't abide by the code, as what they say, the council giveth, the council can take away. So if we find that it becomes a hindrance, then we can change it again.
Yep.
So it would be deeply encourageable for the people to follow the law.
Okay, Counselor Chin.
I did not do enough reading to understand, and perhaps they could answer my question. Is there a provision in there for them to be licensed, or do you have to make any request? And the only reason I ask that is, think of the Airbnbs in the city, which we finally said these following things. Failure gives us the right to take away your permit to do it. And maybe we ought to at least think about issuing a permit so that we can remove the permit.
I think they addressed it. Tyler, do you want to just?
So, we do not have the statutory authority to issue a permit out of the zoning ordinance. When we asked legal about specifically a license for owning chickens, they said that we could have a non-mandatory license, but we couldn't have a license that mandates everybody have it. So if you wanted to have a register and have people sign up, you could. You just couldn't impose any fines or penalties for that.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor
Question,
Susie?
that was under zoning. Could the council pass an ordinance that require a permit? Just like having a dog, you can have dog licenses.
So first we asked about the zoning, that was a separate thing, and they said no to that. So then we asked about just like a general license, like a dog license, and they said that was also not permitted. The state does promote agricultural use, and so there are no enabling statutes allowing municipalities to issue a license for chickens.
Okay, so if somebody violates this, there's no recourse.
Nope, there is a recourse. We have enforcement through the zoning ordinance. They can be subject up to penalties of $275 a day. That'd have to be issued by the Superior Court. But there is enforcement action that we can take.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, all right. We have the motion. All those in favor?
Did we have a
6
motion?
votes. Yeah. All right. Third is I move to schedule a public hearing on September 8th, 2025, during the regular city council meeting to gather input prior to its adoption. Do I have Councilor Felch? Councilor Hoffman, seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative, thank you. Thank you, Tyler. 21D, proposed resident-only parking permit system, Simpson Avenue. Discussion. The Government Operations and Ordinance Subcommittee met on August 13th, 2025. The subcommittee agreed the concept of the program. They concurred with staff recommendations. Wes, would you like to address this?
No, you wouldn't.
Okay, so we're still working on the ordinance and getting some research to determine costs and all of that. But the concept is if someone wants resident-only parking, they gotta go to the council member. Council member's gotta say, yes, I'm gonna sponsor it. Council's gotta approve. That's the basic concept for it. We're gonna have criteria that says things like it's gotta be a dead-end road, so much density, in other words, how many houses on it, and others like that. So that's the basic process. But that's gonna take a while because one, we gotta get all the documentation set up for it and we gotta figure out what the costs are. And we were already working on that with Winnisquam Printing to determine what the cost of the permits and the cost of the, I'll call them the rearview mirror hangers for temporary permits. So once we get that back, we'll be able to give you the final package for all of it. But in the meantime, Councilmember Cheney requested we bring this up to you for one particular road, Simpson Avenue. That's the one that's closest to the Winnipesaukee Pier, and they've been having problems with people parking on that street, so they're either going to the Docks Restaurant or having to park there because they don't want to pay for parking on Lakeside Avenue. So the purpose of just this one, and we already got temporary permits rigged up for it, is just doing that one road while we finalize the plans and the ordinances for the whole program overall. That's really what this particular one is.
So, it's a work in progress, but right now, it's for Simpson Avenue.
Simpson Avenue only.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. The motion is I move the city council approve the designating Simpson Avenue as a residence-only parking with a permit required pending adoption of the resident-only parking system for the city. Councilor Cheney moves the motion. Councilor Susie seconds. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative. All right. 21E, temporary traffic order, 25-16, closure of portions of Pleasant Street on Halloween, Friday, October 31st, 2025. Councilor Hoffman requested that the City Council approve a temporary traffic order to close portions of Pleasant Street on Halloween, October 31st, 2025, on Friday, to ensure the safety of trick-or-treaters and their family. Pleasant Street would remain open for our local traffic only. Pleasant Street is historically one of the busiest streets in the city of Laconia during Halloween. Closure of the portion of the street would help increase safety and decrease the congestion of vehicles during trick-or-treating times. Trick-or-treating in Laconia on Halloween is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We recommend the closure of the street beginning at 4 p.m. and end at 9 p.m. I move to approve traffic order 2025-16, closure of a portion of Pleasant Street on Halloween, Friday, October 31st, 2025, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. as presented. Councilor Hoffman?
Now have a discussion?
Yeah, after the motions.
After the motion.
Okay.
Councilor Hoffman moves the motion. Councilor Phelps seconded. Now,
what section of Pleasant Street, because it's not defined here, if you said Pleasant Street, go all the way back down to the curve of Main Street.
It's in the temporary traffic order on the second page of it. It'd be just north of Harvard Street to just north of Pleasant Street School.
Just north of Pleasant Street School, okay. From Harvard Street to north, okay. Thank
all
you.
set?
I'm all set.
Councilor Hoffman?
Yeah, just for a little explanation on this is that
I didn't say it in that motion, that's why.
Right. Halloween on Pleasant Street is kind of another level. I think I usually buy about 1,400 pieces of candy. We get at least 700-800 trick-or-treaters every year. It's it's not a small amount of people in the street. So a constituent brought this to my attention. I thought it was a great idea. Let's close the street, make it a little safer because it's not exactly well lit.
Mr. Mayor Protem, if I may ask a question to the council, we put in there the local traffic only. Are you comfortable with having local traffic? Because we don't have to have that in there. That was just something we put in. I'd leave that to you guys for discussion.
I mean, I think that's a long time to keep someone from getting to their driveway.
So that's what we figured. So, yeah, okay.
Councilor Bowe.
I agree with this. Dear, in Ward 5 on Edward Street, we, for Christmas, would close down Edward Street because of all the Christmas lights and the traffic and stuff. And we left it open for local traffic and stuff. It was quite an affair, and it did help in maintaining the safety of, and reduce the traffic in there. So I wholeheartedly support such action.
Thank you, Council Borget. Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative, Katie, that's passes also. 21F is the discussion of the city manager's compensation. Mayor Hosmer conducted the city manager Beatty's annual performance review. This was also reviewed by the mayor and council together. His current salary is $154,350. Mayor and council also recommended a 5% merit increase based on the current contract language, which allows for an increase of 5%. The mayor and council also recommend an additional 4% cost of living adjustment. These increases match the possible increases of non-union employees and department heads. The new salary will be $168,550.20, plus a 7% towards his retirement plan. I make the motion that we accept that as written.
Second.
Second by Council Felch. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative. Okay. We're
Thank
on
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Unfinished business. Resolution 25-27, request to authorize the city manager to expend New Hampshire Department Safety Grant in the amount of $40,000. Where that came up previously. Is there any other discussion with that? Is there a motion?
Yes.
Councilor Susie, seconded by Councilor Cheney. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
We have
There's 3 motions.
3 motions. so
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't flip the page.
Well, that was the first one.
Oh, okay. What I need is a few more pieces of paper here. Okay. I move to waive reading Resolution 25-27 in its entirety and read by title only. Councilor Cheney, Councilor Felch seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? I move a second reading of Resolution 25-27, request to authorize the city manager to accept and expend the New Hampshire Department of Safety Grant on behalf of the city in the amount of $40,000. So moved by Councilor Phelps, Councilor Hoffman seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? 6 votes in the affirmative. I move to approve Resolution 25-27, request to authorize the city manager to accept and expend a New Hampshire Department of Safety Grant on behalf of the city in the amount of $40,000 as presented.
So moved.
So Councilor Phelps, Councilor Cheney seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? All right. Okay. That brings us to the conclusion of the agenda. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your patience. And we are adjourned at 8:59. Thank you, Madam Clerk.